We've talked about 5 stages of team development. Talked about forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. Now a few more things on team performance. Certainly positive norms, so we learn to behave each other in appropriate fashion. We communicate. We don't run around and stab people in the back. We bring together. We're not afraid to bring together bad news. There's the right amount of challenge to people. It's positive in a positive fashion. We have constructive criticisms, those type of things. It's about moving the team forward, not about tearing each other apart. And when you have two people that turn on each other, that becomes terribly disruptive to the team. Shared team goals are also, and not just sharing the team goals, but how much we internalize those, how important those are to us. I was thinking about, I used to work with some guys who were in Vietnam in the Army, and they used to talk about, I don't know, I was we were drinking coffee together, and one new guy asked him, so how did it work out with you had race issues in the United States, big time race issues in the 60s, but meanwhile you guys were over there, fighting together in the jungle of Vietnam, and did that carry over into the jungle? And the guy who was the vet said, are you kidding me? Absolutely not. I'm in a unit. I'm with a guy. He's raised on a ranch in Oklahoma, and another guy who's raised in inner city Detroit or Chicago. I can't remember which. And they're completely different ends of the social spectrum. And when you're out in the jungle and you got people out in the jungle that are trying to kill you every night, that's a shared team goal, is to live through the night. And so you're best pals. You're both extremely motivated to make sure the team achieves its goals, as in everybody survives the night. And this other stuff just goes away. So it is true that it's an extreme example, I know, but the more the team is motivated towards the goals, right, the rest of the differences, the heterogeneity issues just sort of go away. Right? And that can also come down into, and we'll certainly see how they integrate new members into that and so forth. So team-based environmental benefits. So how does this work out for the organization, and how does this work out for the team? Let's take a look. So enhanced performance. We know that teams can do things that individuals can't. So specifically, right, we see here where there's increased productivity from the team. Individual working team to get more work done. Right? They also have improved quality, and they have improved customer service. There's a couple reasons for that. One, if I make a mistake, it's often because I didn't know, or I just made a careless mistake, and it gets uncaught until it gets unchecked, right? Until later, and then it comes up, and then it's a bad problem. As opposed to if I work in a team, they might catch it right away. Or if I have a quality problem, somebody sitting right there might have the answer. Oh yeah, not that way, do it this way. Oh, I see, that's better. So we get this cross-pollination of knowledge can really help us in these different areas. And productivity is better too. People are more likely to let themselves down than the team. I can stand it when I think I made the choice to goof off or be late on something, but it bothers me worse when my colleagues, my friends, the people I go to lunch with on my team, when they know I haven't made a contribution to the team and I've let them down. That's a different thing. So I'm much more likely to let myself down than the team. Employee benefits. So how does it work out to the employee? So the organization has an advantage. Does it work out for the employee? And the answer is yes. They will tell you people on teams rate the quality of their work life higher than people not on teams. Right? They like being part of something. They like having friends. They like having colleagues. And this actually lowers stress. And lowers stress for a couple reasons. One, I got somebody to complain to, right? Because we're all in the same boat. And certainly college students know all about that. The other thing is, I have somebody to catch me when I fall. I have somebody to ask questions to. I have somebody to share with. I have somebody, because I know I have improved quality and I have improved productivity by working in this team. I know I'm better in this team, therefore it lowers my stress level, right? And that's a good thing. So it turns out the organization wins and the employee wins. So there's those two things. I mean, what else is there, right? It's a win-win on both sides around. So there's going to be lots of people doing lots of work in teams. And certainly reduces cost to the organization. There's lower employee turnover and absenteeism, and even injuries. Right? People just pay more attention. They do a better job. They make fewer mistakes. They're more likely to come in because, again, they'd rather let themselves down than their colleagues and friends. So they do a good job. So, and that's a big help. That's not a small thing for the organization to have these things have these bad things happen less. Right? And again, organizational benefits, increased innovation and flexibility. People and teams are good at bouncing ideas off of each other. They're good at coming up with new things. They're having people tell them, yeah, that's a good idea. You should do that. You should bring that forward. You should tell our manager. And those kind of things lead to innovation for the organization as a whole, which can have a big financial impact. Cost. What are some of the costs? Well, sometimes there's confusion by the manager because the team's off doing its thing with the team leader, and it sort of reduces the supervisory power of the manager. Right? So sometimes the managers feel less useful. To me, that's no reason not to do teams. The manager's going to have to get used to it. They're going to have to understand they still have a rule. It's slightly modified. Sometimes employees will have resistance to rule changes. I'm used to working this way, and that's true for any change that things employees have to do or any organizational change. You're always going to get some pushbacks because people have inertia. They're used to doing things a certain way, and they like to keep doing it a certain way. The cumbersome and lengthy team development process. We mentioned the stage of team development, right? We got the forming, norming, storming before we get to work, as opposed to one person can start on a task right away. So what we find out is, yes, there's a little bit of a slow start, but they make up for it at the end. And it can be losses due to abandonment of the process, so sometimes we just give up on a team before it gets a chance to hit its stride. So what do we need to make a team successful? We need top management support. So top management's got to let the team know what you're doing is important. I know there's hassles associated with working in a team. It's worth it. We need this. It's important to me, therefore it's important to you. We need to understand the time frames. When is this thing due? And we need to understand the new awards from the organization that are associated with this new way of working. So as I said, often things get worse before they get better in terms of output. Why? These people have to take time to learn to work together. They have to go through the forming, storming, norming phases. So don't expect too much too soon. We even have a graphic that shows what happened. Here's the team output. Look, output actually goes down at the beginning. Right? There's reality and unrest. Right? And then the leader starts to take hold and things start getting better. Then the team is working tightly. And then even if we have a really super team, we can try a self-managed team where there's even more performance going on. Although, if you do this too soon, the line's going to turn back down. Right? Your performance will actually go and go down and not up.